the St. David area, Las Suggest to be precise. And we are here for day 2 of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. We are just minutes away from the start. We're going to have the toss. And from the toss, we're going to get into the lineup of the teams. It's day 2 of the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 Season 5. And we are here for the first encounter on day 2. The Cinnamon Pacers, the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers, they will be coming up against the Saffron Strikers. 2 winners from day 1. And so we're here for the coin toss. The match referee, Mr. Carl Felix, is here. And we are going to have the toss now. All right, so I'm here with Ryan. John Ryan, you won the toss. What is your decision?
We're going to have a bat first.
Yesterday you had a bat first. You put on a really good total, very impressive total. What are your expectations of the boys today?
Yeah, just to replicate a good performance. Obviously, we had a really good game yesterday. It's just about building from there. So let's see how it goes today.
All right, well, good luck to you, and let's see how this encounter goes. So I'm here with the captain of the Saffron Strikers, Kem Charles. Kem, decision, you lost the toss. What is your thoughts on the wicket?
Well, firstly, you would have bowled anyway, so the wicket seems a pretty good wicket, so we don't expect it to change too much, so we're still happy with the decision to bowl.
Okay, so is there any particular thing that you would you're looking forward to in terms of the bowling effort today?
I mean, it's just to keep things simple. As I say, don't go chasing the game. It's a fast game. We expect batsmen to come at us, so just have to try and be smart and bowl well.
Well, we saw your bowlers do a really good job yesterday in terms of restricting the clove challengers. Who are the key bowlers you would be looking for? It's day 2. The wicket just may be a bit different.
As what happened yesterday, Otniel, Nilan, Pascal, myself, I expect to do a little better than yesterday, and the other players to just play the role.
Any chances of bringing in maybe an extra spinner?
No.
All right, so there we had it. From the middle, the Cinnamon Pacers, they've won the toss, and they are going to bat. All right, so there we had it. That was the toss. And just to quickly remind you, the Cinnamon Pacers, they won the toss. They will be batting. They had a really good batting display yesterday. Cozy St. Hilaire, 74 not out. A really good start to this year's tournament. And so I know that the Cinnamon Pacers, they will be looking to replicate that. With me here is Justin Hector, and we are going to be bringing you the first half of this encounter. Welcome, Justin.
Yes, good morning. Wherever you're viewing this live broadcast, it's live telecast, as I should say. And I want to anticipate again another magnificent day of cricket, magnificent day of T10 cricket. And if it's anything like it was yesterday morning at about this time, I think we'll be in for some exciting time. Of course, Nicosi St. Hilaire, who had a bridge 74 yesterday. You would want to repeat that, you know. But I think, of course, Saffron would want to ensure that they do not suffer that kind of fate. But it will be interesting. And it will be really an exciting day, we hope, for you viewers here.
Well, we certainly hope that it will be an exciting day. The wicket looks good again for batting. The outfield nice and fast. So it's conducive for scoring runs. And scoring runs rather quickly means that the bowlers will be under pressure very early in this encounter.
Probably when it comes to the decision, I guess John would have won the toss and would have chosen to bat. I think the condition should be at its best for batting at this stage. So batting first yesterday meant that their batting force yesterday meant that they got the best of the wicket. They got the wicket in very good condition, and I think they would want to repeat that today again.
Well, the Cinnamon Pacers, they will certainly want to replicate, but the Saffron Strikers are a winner from yesterday. So these are the two winning teams from day one, and they are facing up against each other. Day one, test the waters, see what it's like. But day two, it means that you need to start putting structures in place to ensure that you remain at the top.
Right, yeah. So one of these teams will certainly take the ascendancy. And I don't think any one of them will want to let off. So one expects a rather interesting game. Probably, hopefully, a tight game.
Well, the batters out for the Cinnamon Pacers, Nkosi Saint-Hilaire, Shondell Regis. It will be Saint-Hilaire. He normally in the school system here in Grenada, we have forms.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be in Form 1. And I don't think he wants to move from Form 1 right now because he certainly has been striking it pretty well. So he will want to stay out there and school the bowlers from the Saffron Strikers.
Not only Form 1, but yesterday he really looked like he's really on the top of the class. So one expects,
But he's coming up against the veteran in Pascal. Not really a good start there by Pascal, just down the leg side. Pascal has been, really a good addition to whatever team he has played for. He's donning the yellow of the Saffron. Previously, he donned the yeah, we'll get the information for you shortly, but this is the first time he's in yellow. Let's see. Pascal in to Saint-Hilaire, and he cannot repeat the form. He is gone. Saint-Hilaire goes, bowled by Neelan Pascal. So early breakthrough for the Saffron Strikers. They will be happy seeing the back of Nkosi Saint-Hilaire.
Well, lightning don't flash twice in the same place, they said, and and it was a good delivery. In fact, he never had the room. I think he was really cramped for room, and just tried to keep it out basically, and probably a little bounce there also for Pascal. The ball just coming off the inner portion of the bat and going onto the stump. Quite an unfortunate way to get out, but of course, it's he was deceived by probably the bounce and line of the delivery.
Certainly a good start for the Saffron Strikers. They will be happy with this. A good way to really start is this the first delivery really, because Pascal came through with a wide, and so the first delivery picking up a wicket, the first legal delivery, and so they will have their tails up. They will hope that they can really push back this batting lineup of the Cinnamon Pacers.
Yeah, the wicket is certainly a big one. Shondell Regis is there. He's not known to score probably at a very, very rapid rate. So that will certainly keep things in check a bit for the Saffron. So the first major blow struck by Saffron.
Well, a lot will depend on Daniel Williams, a left-handed batter who comes to join left-handed Regis. And these two, I can tell you, they are good, powerful hitters of the cricket ball. Pascal in, and you can see the bubbliness of the Saffron Strikers. I think they know that, they are on top here. They got a big wicket in Saint-Hilaire. And so you will see them rushing around. Their tails will be up. They should be very chirpy, just looking to put pressure on the batters of the Cinnamon Pacers.
Well, it's the experience is the greatest teacher. And of course, they are probably one of the most experienced men out on the field lane. That Pascal is operating from the northern end. So 2 for 1. Just not the type of start probably. Not the type of start Cinnamon Pacers would have been hoping for. But the ideal start for Saffron. It's a pretty hot morning, clear, beautiful morning. There's some side clouds around.
So Regis is off the mark. He's off the mark with 2.
But one saw that last delivery from Pascal, though it was looked to have gone down the leg side, but there was some appreciable movement. The ball swinging into the left-handed batsman. We were able to get it down behind square on the onside. So 4 for 1. Pascal in the middle of a very, very good over. Type of over you will take at any point in the game, basically, and well, let's have it in the first over of the day.
And there he goes. Really climbing into this one, Regis. Doesn't need any second invitation in terms of putting bat to ball, and he has certainly done that.
Yes, Pascal giving him the opportunity there. It was short, it was outside the off stump, and Regis not looking to hit it too hard, just, well, it was fairly wide, in fact, allowing him to freeze arm basically, but he didn't look to hit it, look to hit it too hard. He just pressed the gap between backward point and the third man area, and he went over to the boundary for 4.
So 8 for 1, 4 deliveries into the first over. A lot has happened so far.
And again. Well, bowl him again.
Wow. Well, look at this. Nilon Pascal, the veteran. I mean, he is on point this morning, removing Regis. Again, off the inside edge. The batters seem to be playing just a little tad too early. And Pascal just being able to deceive them there. Inside edge into the leg stump. Replica of how Nkosi St. got out. And the Saffron strikers, they are on top.
Well, we saw a gesticulation there by Regis, probably showing what he should have done, probably not offering the full face of the bat. And as a result, the ball coming off the inner portion and going onto the off stump. Similar mistake made by Nkosi, probably trying to play the ball too square and not looking to play straight and offering more of the face of the bat to the delivery. Well, in any case, well, the Saffron strikers, they couldn't ask for a better start to this game, to this, well, not even this over, but to this game, and disaster for Cinnamon Pacers, really. Yeah, 8 runs, 2 wickets.
All right, so the pressure is on. These two will need, it's just the first over, but you have to speak of rebuilding here because a 2 very early strike from Nilon Pascal has really put a dent in the batting of the Cinnamon Pacers. They will have to really play very well from here on in to get up to a challenging total. What we do know is that they have good batting. They boast of a very good batting lineup. And so one will expect that they will dig themselves out of this hole as quickly as they can.
So the middle order of the Cinnamon Pacers wasn't tested yesterday. Sure, it will be tested today. The opening batters really set the foundation yesterday for the total, which they eventually got 135, something like that. This time around, the middle and probably lower middle order will have to provide that type of tempo, that type of innings to ensure that they get up to a respectable score. So 8 for 2 after 1, and probably it's more than even, Stephen, picking up 2 wickets, 8 runs.
Yeah, well, I will say that the Cinnamon Piece, the Saffron Strikers, they are at the top. They have dominated so far. It's going to be Othniel Lewis from the pavilion end. He will be bowling to Daniel Williams, who is on 1. And Williams, we saw a glimpse of him yesterday of what he can do. We know him to be a very destructive batter.
Drifting down the leg side. Lewis, a very tall man, a tall bowler. It does come from a very good height, so we live to see how much probably bounce he can probably get out of the surface this early. And really,
That it seemed to be an inside edge there. Will run close to the boundary.
Cinnamon Pacers this morning, nothing, no real confidence in the batters.
Yeah, they do seem to be a tad low, not the sort of start that they needed. But again, as I said, and I will say it again, the batting lineup is a good one. So they will want to back themselves and really, put in the performance that they know they can. A lot will depend on this pair just to give them some momentum.
Well, the Saffron, they were able to restrict the, and that's a big one.
That's the way to ease the pressure. A really good, clean hit. It's a carry power hit from the bat of Daniel Williams. So it's the first carry power hit of the day. And so Williams will feel happy to have gotten that one. Give him a bit of confidence. Just let him settle the nerves slightly, and all should be well. So 16 for 2. We're in over number 2. So a lot has happened. 2 very early strikes from Neil and Pascal. That's really put a dent in the Saffron, in the Cinnamon Pacers batting. But they will want to bring that vehicle of the Cinnamon Pacers to the best mechanic and remove that dent and maybe look to get on the road again.
Yes, indeed. We need to do that. 1.4 overs into the game. 10 for 2. At this point, the rate is scoring the current rate is 10.2. They would hope that they probably can continue with that rate towards the end of the evening. And if they do this, probably get in the region of 110, 115. Provide a challenge for the Saffron strikers.
Yeah, so Lewis doing well so far. Completing his over. Just 7 runs coming from it.
Take that any day.
Certainly.
We saw how much the ginger strikers, how much they struggled to boost that total. Saffron was able to really keep them on the wraps. But what they did quite successfully do was to pick up wickets on a very regular basis. And as a result, they never got off to a major start.
Yeah, certainly wickets is the way to go. If you want to restrict a team in T10 cricket, you need to pick up wickets. Pick them up very regular. So there he is. Williams not able to pierce the gap there. Really would have loved to see that ball speed across the outfield. So he will feel that he has gotten away with that. And there he goes, and he has another one. This is Pascal's morning. Really hasn't put a foot wrong as yet. short delivery, really not looking at the ball for as long as he should. It got big on him and he just was successful there, Williams, in spooning a catch to the man there at backward square.
Well, really good thinking there by Pascal. This time, maybe the first legitimate short ball we've seen from him, digging it in and into the pitch, and Williams probably not quite prepared. Seemed to have been rushed into the shot, and just getting it towards the man at backward square, and going caught. So another good delivery again by Pascal, and as I said, this really is Pascal's morning, and Cinnamon Pacers now in a bit of trouble, probably more than a bit of trouble. Having lost 3 wickets for 17 runs.
Yeah, they are in a spot of bother. It's only 17 runs. They really haven't gotten off. Yeah, and this is T10. The captain and the supporters of Cinnamon maybe would have taken a 71 for 3 instead of 17 for 3.
But they got to keep it going because they got to keep looking at the score. It's a very short version. And at 17 for 3, you still don't think you should be bowled out in 10 overs. So they got to keep going. They got to keep looking to put runs on the board. And as I said earlier, well, a chance now for the middle and lower middle order to shine. That's one of the dangers when your top order, you're so heavy, dependent on the top order, and the middle order doesn't have a lot of opportunity to perform out there. When they do get the opportunity, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it does put some pressure on the men coming in without time in the middle. Pascal going past the bat of Hooper. So it's Asif Hooper from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Bounce and carry. Good pace by generated there by Pascal. Really good, coming a really good reader, man. And he has kept basically ball fairly straight. Kept it fairly straight. Hadn't given the batsmen too much to free their arms. I think that has been the difference.
Again, just shot of a good length. Hooper looking to get after him. We're still inside the power play. 1 delivery remaining. So you will want to maximize this 1 delivery.
Short which stays probably Hooper just feeling the heat a bit and wanting to manufacture something. You need to just see Pascal off.
So over number 3 comes to an end. It's 18 for 3. After a really good day yesterday with the bat, the Cinnamon Pacers, they're up against it. Saffron Strikers certainly on top, and they will want to close off this middle phase, not really give much away. I think what the Cinnamon Pacers will need to do, the field widths will spread, and so they will need to pick up the 2s, pick up maybe the 3s, try and get the odd boundaries just to get some momentum going into their innings, and hope that possibly the last 3 they can really go after it, keep some wickets in hand.
Well, 3 for 9, Pascal in his 2 overs. It's what you probably would sleep and dream about, that type of figures in a T10 game. And certainly he has done his work.
So Othniel and Lewis, it's Vincentian to Vincentian. He's bowling to Asif Hooper. Hooper getting it full but not really making use of it.
And these 2 should probably know each other very well.
They will know each other very well. This time given some room. Just tugging it into the onside.
The inner portion of the bat is very much in play this morning. I don't know if it's not probably something we probably could associate with the pitch, whether the slowness of the wicket or something like that.
Well, what we've seen yesterday, I think I remember one of the fielders, one of the batters saying that the wicket was gripping slightly, and so the slower deliveries, they worked really well. You know, you got a good bit of grip when you bowl that slow delivery into the wicket, deceive the batter. So it just may be a little tad on the slower side.
Alfred Bishop is at all C's there against the list. Can't really find a good bat on the ball. After 4 balls, 19 for 3, and real pressure, and they're certainly going to a halt in terms of scoring.
Yeah, the pressure cooker is sealed very tightly here by the Saffron strikers. And, generally, when you put meat into the pressure cooker and it is well sealed, it means that it will all get soft, and I don't think the cinnamon pieces will want to go soft there.
Yeah.
They will want to respond.
Scoring under 5 at this point. Really not where they would have wanted to be at this stage in the innings.
So it's going to be another medium pacer. Continuing with the pace bowling, Saffron strikers, it has worked for them. So Tyrone Charles will be taking up the attack. Will be interesting to see how he goes about. This is the first change in terms of Pascal and his end. So we're looking forward to see if it's something about the end or if it is that Pascal has just been so immaculate. Charles.
Well, yeah. So wide outside the off. So the thing about it is that there will be no pressure. In fact, there should be no pressure on Charles at this point because he's coming to the attack with his team well on top. And one can see that the batsmen are struggling quite a bit to get ball to bat. And I think no better time to come into an attack.
This one firmly struck. I'll only get one, but Charles looking to keep the ball up to the bat. I think we've seen what the inside edge has done. And so you will want to keep that ball as close to the bat as possible.
This one just a little bit wider. And he gave the opportunity to the batter to hit it into the offside. This is more like the line you want to employ. Just about middle and off. And see Bishop not finding the room to freeze arm the ball coming off again. More the inner portion of the bat and going away on the onside.
So Charles done well so far in his 2 deliveries. 22 for 3. Hooper on strike. Hooper looking for something big. Again, a bit of a misfield, but they will pick up only 1.
The singles wouldn't hurt the Saffron at all. Quite happy to give away a single at times. But these batters must come to the party and come now. We're almost at the halfway point.
And Bishop rushed. Really, that ball got onto him faster than he anticipated. And Charles has really developed. He has seemed a bit pacier than previous years. He was out of the T10 scene for a while. We saw him in the 2023 edition. He was not as pacey as he is now, but what I'm seeing from him is that he has developed a lot more control in terms of what he wants to do with the ball, and that speaks volume for you as a up-and-coming youngster. You know, you able to dictate what the batsman responds to.
It's 25 for 3. As we draw close to the end of the over number 5, halfway mark.
Yeah, fortuitous there. We'll take this any day. Bishop.
In the inside edge coming into play and coming off the pad as we all cut it a little closer. Maybe the intention was to play it fine. It did come off more the inside edge in a portion of the baton of the thigh and run quickly away to the boundary for 4. But they would take that. But it means that it's 29 for 3 after 5. And the current run rate still under a runner ball. And this really is problems as far as the Cinnamon Pacers are concerned.
Yeah, really problems here for the Cinnamon Pacers. Not the sort of start they expect. They have done well. They have not lost any further wickets. And so what that means is that they still have the next 5 overs where they can plan an attack that will give them something that they will certainly be happy to defend.
They will have to find it somewhere and sometime between now and the 10th over. We'll see another Charles into the attack, this time Kem Charles.
And good quick single there. Batters understand the need for very little dot balls.
Hooper there, almost you can see him looking to wind up for a big one. But there's a good delivery by Charles. It just, if anything, came probably with the arm, just drifted into the left-hander. And Hooper could do no more than to just play it out on the offside for a single. And even so, it was not the most comfortable of singles.
Slightly short, and Bishop able to pull this through backward square, pick up a very easy single. The singles, they will welcome the Saffron strikers. Cinnamon Pacers will need to clear the boundary ropes.
I have a question for you, Ronell. Why isn't the captain out at this point?
Certainly a good hit, but not going far. Well, again, you want the captain to come in and to help to strengthen the middle to the lower order. He's a good, powerful hitter. So you want to send the batters ready to do their task. And if they didn't get through, then he will come in and really look. So I'm expecting that the captain will come now, right, giving the opportunity to them as they lose another wicket here. The Cinnamon Pacers, it's 32 for 4. Alfred Bishop running down the track, really nowhere close to that delivery, and out-stumped.
Yes, and with a soft dismissal in the end, again, just being undone by the spin, the delivery, just, if anything, drifted away from him, and really didn't keep his eyes on the ball, just came down hoping that he would make some contact. He didn't do so, and the keeper did the rest. Easy stumping for the wicketkeeper, and more problems. And the thing about Ryan John coming in now, it means that he has less than 5 overs to work with, and probably he probably would have wanted to come ahead of Bishop or one of these guys. Probably he's more adept at playing and probably has better skills set than them.
Well, we know that Ryan is experienced. We just saw him in the breakout league, and so he played a couple of significant innings with the bat. And what will be needed here is maybe for him to really take charge. I still think 5.4 overs, good enough time for him to be in, so that from here on in he can shepherd what happens out there. You do not want him a situation where he's out there trying to consolidate as Kem bowls. He goes hard. Is he going to clear the field? No, he doesn't. And so St. Paul taking a relatively easy catch there. And so John not having an impact in this one. Kem Charles and the Saffron strikers, they will be elated as we look at the replay here.
Again taken wide. Kem Charles forcing him to do something that he probably didn't quite want to do. The ball was wide, he had to fetch it and probably looking more to hit it more towards the onside or hit it straighter instead of probably looking to go over extra cover over the offside. And as such, he held out to the man at mid-off. And one could have seen the jubilation of Braffett, the keeper behind the stump. They know it's a big wicket and they probably know with that wicket, probably they're right there now. They're well into it. And we're looking at the approach again now at John, you know. He probably came out there telling himself that, listen, I don't have much balls I can just block for the moment. I play myself in. I don't really have the time to do so. So he has to come out with all guns blazing. And more often than not, this is the consequence of that type of approach at this stage. It's the way I thought he should have come out a little bit earlier and have more balls to work with, more balls to play with. Yeah, because at that level, he probably would be looked at, apart from maybe Nikosi, as probably the next best person in the team, the next best batsman, if there is anyone who can really take the game away from the opponent. So you want to give him as much deliveries as you possibly can, but of course, it's what it is, and 32 for 5, nowhere near what probably might be ideal. Well, there is a good shot. It will be swept around on the onside by Custin Murray, who has come out. And a successful over, in fact, a double wicket over, and only 4 runs in the over. So it was, again, another very, very good over. So after 6, we're 34 for 5. And Cinnamon Pacer team, which is really struggling. Just having a look at it again, probably with the umpire not sure whether one of his feet would have touched the boundary rope. It doesn't seem that way. And I don't know, from you would have better eyesight than around that. So
it does look really safe, relatively safe. Seems to be well inside the boundary.
And of course, it's double play, but that too is safe. The batsman, where the batter cut is pretty safely inside in. So all's well ends well for now. 34 for 5.
Well, 6 overs gone, 34 for 5. Reset time. I think a new revise in terms of the what they will love to have. It's going to be Ronell Williams, tricky customer, and he's greeted in style by Asif Hooper. A boundary of the first delivery, so just putting a bit of pressure back on Williams. Pitching up just a bit wide outside the stump. And really did well, Hooper, to just pierce that gap there.
So Ruel will have to take a page from what you have seen earlier. The bowlers will be choosing to go either straight or away from the hitting zone of the batsman. Another one swung down on the onside and picked up by Kem Charles and had a couple of runs. Were hard. So Hooper now having to really take control of the he's been there for a while. He's faced 14 deliveries, 13 runs, a little bit slow. Again, still chance to make up a bit at the back end.
Yeah, certainly Hooper will want to take charge here. It's been pressure from ball one. They've really been up against the 8 ball, the Cinnamon Pacers. 40 for 5. They will be looking to get still close to 100. It will take some getting, but you have enough overs. If you can get anywhere within the region of 85, maybe 90, they will take that and trust their bowlers to defend that total. Hooper launches into this one. Let's see, it's high, it's handsome. That's gone. 6 runs. So Asif Hooper, he's on the charge. He's ready to punish the bowling of the Saffron strikers. He really hasn't had anything that he could latch onto, but now he does, making full use of it.
He's a very dangerous man, Asif Hooper, as we know, and the game can change rather quickly if he does get a hold of a couple of them. And unfortunately, Royal Murray are the one to really feel the brunt of his attack so far. But somebody has to be attacked. He's so far 1 for 12 in three deliveries, and that's exactly what the Cinnamon Pacers wants. They would want to probably double that in the over. A little bit wider side of someone Hooper reaching for it, and again this has traveled all the way for 6. Well, down on one knee and reaching for a wide delivery outside the off stump, and probably not getting the type of contact as he wanted to, but the ball hitting almost the bottom of the bat. But there was so much power involved that it sailed over the man at extra cover and out over the boundary for 6.
Well, tell you what, here we go. It's Williams under pressure down the leg side, and it's going to run away for 4. So 4 more to Asif Hooper. A really big over here. Ruel Williams placed under tremendous pressure, unable to respond. This is what Hooper is urging it to go on, because he knows it's important that the Cinnamon Pacers get that sort of momentum into their innings.
Already, the rate has jumped to 7.8. So a score of 90, probably 100, it could well be in the making if Hooper stays there. And Poe Williams really under the guns. Short outside the off stump and steered into the offside. As Thomas, I think it is, he came in to do the fielding. And Singer. So Hooper has gone to 30 in 18. He was what? He was 15 from 14. 14, yeah.
Yes, certainly a big over there by Williams, going for 23 runs. It means now that the pressure is back on the Saffron strikers. They will need to contain these next 3 overs if they're going to really restrict the Cinnamon Pacers batting. Hooper, we've seen him. He is ready. I think he has gotten a feel of what is happening and what to expect. Murray, we know, can hit the ball. That's Costin Murray. And so this pair really will be the pair to bring Cinnamon Pacers anywhere close to a challenging total for the Saffron strikers.
Yes, and Murray haven't played at the under-19 levels and quite a bit at senior levels locally and so on. Must understand his role now probably is to ensure that Asif Hooper plays most of the deliveries that are left. He doesn't have to really go ball hunting or try to do it on his own. Just leave it up to Hooper as long as Hooper is there. If Hooper now would bat for the next 3 overs, probably they would get past 100. Charles has come back. Not Kem Charles, but Tyrone Charles.
So a change of ends for Charles, coming from the pavilion end to Hooper. And this one has gotten big on him, and he's out. He's out. Asif Hooper goes at a very critical time in the Pacers innings. They needed him to remain out there, but a good delivery from Tyrone Charles. Very pacey. It was onto him rather quickly. and he could do nothing but to spoon it to the man there at point, backward point, presenting an easy catch.
Again, probably looking to go somewhere down the ground instead of probably going in the direction in which the ball was heading, which is going across the left-hander. And as a result, he could have done no more than the ball coming up almost his splice, high up on the bat, and going out towards backward point for an easy catch. So Hooper has to go. He's gone for 30 from 18, and another wicket, 57 for 5, for 6, that should be. And really and truly, it's left to be seen now what can be salvaged. Maybe a score of 80. We'll see how much they can work with that. So at one point, it did look with Hooper being there that they can get up to close to 100. They probably still can. Cricket being the game it is. So far, it really has been a stronger hold by the Saffron on the cinnamon pieces.
So Charles in his second over, 1 for 10. Good spell so far. I think we've seen the 2 medium pieces really control the game well. Pascal, he was very miserly. So far, Charles continuing to build that pressure.
Charles will bowl to the big Che Duncan. Really big man. He would hit the ball a long way. Known to hit some fairly lofty blows. Again, only a single can be had as there are good length, good line, well-lined delivery. Duncan can only hit down towards long off.
Yeah, really, Charles doesn't give you any time. That ball just rushes onto you. Pretty nice, smooth, easy action, but the deliveries are very pacey.
It's 58 for 6, reminding you. Of course it is. 5-8 for 6.
Murray hitting down the ground. They go for 1. Good save there by Charles. And they get 2. A really good diving effort from Charles, just ensuring that he saves his team some runs.
Good shot by Murray. In a straight back past the bowler. Took a good effort on the part of Kem Charles to prevent it from going over the ropes. Saffron strikers, they have been on the game, and in fact they have done well in both departments so far. Bowling, fielding, up in the air, that one goes again. And who is getting underneath it? And another wicket. This time again out, caught somewhere in the back of the point area, looking to go long, looking to go big. Again, pace on. Being late on the shot. And there goes Costin Murray. And another wicket is 7th for the Cinnamon Pacers. What a difference that they can make.
Yeah, really, that day where you had some 135 being scored, they're struggling as Sylvester, that's Rikel Sylvester taking that catch there. Pretty simple catch. Murray rushed into that shot and really could do nothing but to get the top edge. As it ballooned, you can't get them easier than that. And Sylvester will be very happy to have taken that one. And more pressure being applied by the Saffron strikers.
It seems like the Cinnamon Pacers just haven't come to terms with the conditions, the pace and a little bounce that is available. They just haven't come to terms with that. Most of the wicket we've seen fallen has been to cross-batted shots, which says that they're being rushed, looking to hit the ball behind square most of the time, and being rushed into the shot, and one or two occasions the ball coming off pretty high on the bat and ballooning up to fieldsmen on both sides of the wicket. Well, there is some runs for G. It is a leg bias. delivery. It was badly lined this time by Charles. And Noel looking to swing it away on the onside. What a boundary. Welcome run 64 for 7.
Yeah, badly lined there, and Noel will be happy to pick up a boundary here for his team. Not off the bat, but nonetheless, it counts to their team total. He will want to register something on the bat. Charles, final delivery. Wants to close off here. Closes off well. So his 2 overs going for 13 runs. Tyrone Charles really backing up the effort of Neil and Pascal in terms of the pace department for the Saffron Strikers.
Yes, it's very difficult for the batting outfit when you have, especially in a T10 game, where you have 2 bowlers, in fact, performing that well. It really puts a lot of pressure on you. In fact, they have, 5 wickets between them for 21 runs, 22 runs. They have certainly broken the back of the Saffron, the Cinnamon Pacers batting.
Well, they still have an opportunity to get maybe somewhere close to 80. They should look to take that opportunity. This is T10. It just may be a total that they can defend.
Of course, in any contest where you have to score in excess of a run a ball, anything can happen.
Well, it's going to be Javel St. Paul from the road end. Wide delivery, it's just ballooned and just out of the reach of Francis there. Duncan deceived into playing that shot a bit earlier than I really anticipated.
So the bowlers have gone to that bowling. They're dragging the batsmen across the crease, bowling pretty full and wide. And so far they have not been able to really counter that type of attack and counter it effectively.
St. Paul to Duncan. This time he goes straighter and Duncan lifts him straight back over his head. 4 runs, 4 welcome runs to the Cinnamon Pacers. They move up to 70. And so they will be looking, they'll be eyeing this over and the final over to get them maybe close to 90, 95 runs.
Yes, well, let's say Duncan do pack a punch. He does hit it a long way. Again wide, and this time he has gone high again. And another opportunity in the outfield, and well taken by John. And Duncan has to go. So another wicket has fallen. And Duncan looking to be aggressive, looking to go again this time. Being foxed there by the bowler. Again, pretty wide outside the off stump, and not looking to go over the offside, looking to swing it away somewhere on the onside or straight down the ground. And the angle just taking it in the air, and a simple catch again for the fielder at the backward point area, John.
Well, I think Nikobi John did very well there to catch this one because it seemed to be running away from him, and he just stuck out the mitt and he got that one. Really, the sort of catching that tells you that we were on top.
Yes, yeah.
And we're in everything that they have done so far. The Saffron Strikers have worked in their favor.
And with the standard that they have set, it would have been very disappointing if Nikobi John didn't, gobble this one up. They have certainly set pretty high standards in the field this morning. The bowlers have bowled well, and they have been backed up in the field. They have taken everything that has come to hand, for sure. Well, this brings Murray to the crease.
Piece on delivery, and Murray cuts well, but Charles feels well.
Yeah, 2 runs, well run.
Ricardo Murray in picking up 2 much needed runs. St. Paul, good start so far.
We must It's,
Wants to close off well. It's gone for just 8 runs.
$72 for 8. 80. Tag over 80 might still be in the making. And this is very, very wide. And getting an edge to it, it seems, is Murray there. And it's not being called wide, it was very wide. Probably just getting some bat on it. And therefore it remains a dot ball. It's 72 for 8. 9 overs gone, 1 to go. And it's all left to be done in the final over.
Well, you still have 6 legal deliveries, which can bring you 36 runs. And if you get anywhere close to that as a cinnamon pizza batter, you will be happy because that will bring you just about 90, 108, somewhere there. Now, that would be a good total to end on.
You're a very optimistic man, Rondell.
Yeah, you have to be optimistic in this game. It's T10, it's really quick, it's intense. Anything can happen. Once you put a bowler under pressure and you have him swaying in the breeze, you never know. You can really mean as you want.
Well, for that to happen, I know both of these batsmen will have to far exceed what we have seen in the past of them.
Well, I know Kem Charles will have a lot to say about that. Getting away with a full toss there.
Of course, in some instances, it's a rival between friends and good friends. It's Kem Charles and Jay Noel. They know each other very well. They play a lot with each other. They play a lot against each other. Murray.
Murray looking to hit hard. Piercing the gap, and that's 4 runs to Ricardo Murray. So 4 much needed runs for the Cinnamon Pacers. Their dugout will certainly be clapping him on. They want him to put as much runs on the board that they can defend.
Of course, Murray. He's in law enforcement, and what would want to really enforce his will out there on the game. Want to really show Charles that.
Again, getting close to this one. Cutting again. Same spot. And they will cross for 2.
Pretty close, that would be.
And
he's run out, yes.
Good job there by the keeper.
Yes.
Cheyenne Bradford just collecting and having a shy.
How did he get there? It's left to be seen. Off the back foot. He's pretty hard and pretty straight. But they has to take the chance. They has to go for the run.
Yeah, tell you what, the pickup was just really clinical. It was clean. As he picked up, he released the fielder there. And so
Yes,
certainly Murray shot off his ground. Yes. And the Cinnamon Pacers, they are
70.
on the threat of being bowled out in a T10 match. Not the sort of reading you would like. So it's going to be Jumal Francis. And he has 3 deliveries remaining from Charles.
To get 3 runs to go over 80.
Yes, they do need the next 2 deliveries to get them past 80. Something that maybe they can defend.
And that's trouble. That's trouble. And he's run out too. So they will not get to the total of 80. They would end on 78 for 9. Rather comical in the end. You know, the way the inning has folded. But it's certainly a telltale story for the Cinnamon Pacers. They never seem into the game. They seem to be here there. The whole thought process and everything just went the Saffron way. Clinical, really clinical by the Saffron in the field. and they would want to take that into the batting and ensure that they wrap this thing up. They have an opportunity now probably to add to the scoring the scoring rate and the average, because that may come into it later in the tournament. So you want to ensure that when you win handsomely. So they have to be seen how they would approach it total.
Well, this innings has certainly been one that Saffron strikers have dominated. From ball one, they were unsung. They really put pressure on the Cinnamon Pacers batting. They never got the opportunity to really lift their heads. And the fact that they lost these wickets at key times and some key wickets, really not any pressure being exerted on the Saffron strikers. It meant that they had the confidence, they had all that it takes to really stifle them. And so 78 for 10 represents a really good bowling effort on this wicket. And we certainly will await the reply of the Cinnamon Pacers.
Right, so as we said, it was a very good all-round performance. They performed well with the ball, they performed well with in the field. The fielding was good. There were some run-outs, meaning that they really fielded very well. They put a lot of pressure on the batters of the Cinnamon Pacers, and it must have shocked them as a blow after their performance yesterday. But that's the game of cricket, and we will be certainly, as the preparation continues for the next innings, we will also take a break, and we will be back with you for the start of the Saffron Strikers chase in pursuit of 79 to win.
put everything.
And so the Saffron Strikers, as we welcome you back to our commentary here at Last Suggest. Saffron Strikers 79 to win. Cinnamon Pacers would be very disappointed with their performance. And here is the first delivery. There's an appeal for caught behind. So Raquel Sylvester and Brathwaite, they will want to do something special for strikers. Here is Francis. Jamal Francis. Well, they're opening with spin.
No. Quite.
No, sorry. Left arm seam. Beg your pardon. That's a struck nicely, and that's going to go to the boundary. That's 4 runs. A little bit short in length. And onto the back foot went Sylvester. And not where he wanted, I must admit. Went over the third man area and went over the infield, down to the boundary for 4. They say it's not how it's done, but how effective it is. Welcome, Justin.
Yes, Pastor. And, certainly, we're seeing a bit of pace and bounce. So something we saw exploited quite well by Pascal when the Cinnamon piece was batting.
This time he is driving.
In the same direction, only that he's hit it magnificently. It was just short of a length aside the off stump, and he smashed it square with it on the offside, and he went away for 4 again. So another boundary.
Yeah, he hit that well. And just used the pace of the ball and didn't try to hit it too hard, really. But the timing was also good. So the guns are blazing. And Sylvester has gone very rapidly to 8. There's Francis again. advancing down the track. Must have been a premeditated idea to advance down the track. And I think that was well done by Francis. Saw him coming and sprayed it outside the off stump.
What I think the Saffron strikers would want to do is to really get that runs in as little, in as few and over as possible to boost their run rate, and that will certainly boost their run rate. I think that probably speaks for the approach of Sylvester so far.
Yeah, white ball confirmed by the umpire, just straying outside the off stump. And it does tell you, of course, when a bowler has been struck for 2 fours, he is a little bit intimidated. What should I do next? And then don't forget that Sylvester had advanced down the wicket in the previous delivery. So he felt the best thing to do was to just allow him to reach for it, but he sprayed it too far outside the off stump.
And the logical response by these younger bowlers is they just switch sides, and now he's over the wicket.
Again, for the second time in the over, advancing down the track. Well, in this game of 2020 cricket, and cricket as a whole, there are times you've got to do a bit of premeditation. But you also got to allow the bowler to guess. If you become predictable, like he knows that you're going to come down the track, then he's going to pull the length back.
As he did in the last delivery.
Not a white ball, this time contrasting sides of the wicket down the leg side. So he's a little bit all over the place here. Struck for 2 fours and a couple of wides in the over so far. It's so important, Justin, to maintain your composure.
In the batting, they look a little bit rattled, and already looking still a little bit rattled again in the field.
There's an appeal for leg before given out. Well, that was pitch. We'll have to see what the replay says, but he was looking to turn that out on the onside. And coming from over the wicket, the left arm seamer, the appeal went up and given.
Yes, probably. He very close to being struck on the boot, almost flush on the boot. In that case, and he struck in front. Really, there's no chance as Sylvester was looking to whip that somewhat across the line, and beaten in some flight there because it seemed to be like it was a slower ball also, and he was struck in front, and he's out LBW. It's 10 for 1, and of course Saffron strikers 10 for 1, and Pacers will be happy to see the back at least of one of the batters, and they would want to make inroads and try to slow the process, the Saffron strikers down.
So out goes Sylvester, in comes Kim Charles. He's got a bit of repairing to do. But you can't, in this limited version of the game, can't take too long to think about repairing. While you're doing that, you've got to keep your foot on the pedal. It's a game that you've got to be thinking, and thinking very fast. Everything about the game is fast forward, fast moving. And so thinking on your feet is quite critical to having a good success story. 10 for 1. And so very often we see in the tournament so far, albeit it's rather young, that wickets are falling very early as the first over.
Cutson Murray will probably want to make some inroads also. They really need to take wickets to peg the Saffron strikers back.
Yeah, and he's going to be moving into bowl to Brathwaite for the first time. In fact, the first time that Brathwaite will be taking strike in the innings. Sylvester faced all the deliveries. Here is Custon Murray. Oh, that was a lovely delivery. Love it. It was short, seemed to have snaked back into the right-handed batsman, and you could see him jerking his head out of the way, had him stand dancing. I love it. Really such a beauty and a picture to see when a fast bowler can have a batsman taking evasive action. Pacey delivery, but I think the fact that it was well directed is what came in for more applause.
Really followed Brathwaite almost. And of course, it's very rare you see two southpaw opening the bowling.
Lifts that one over the deep backward square area, and that has gone. Did it go all the way?
Probably out over the fence. No, did it? Well, but it's 6.
Yeah. So that's a carry power hit. Maximum. That was just leaning slightly down the leg side. And he got inside it, Brathwaite, and just helped it on its way. And that was a fine shot. Really fine. Don't forget, he was troubled with the previous delivery. This time he made amends. Murray. Oh, and he didn't bowl that one. Just maybe wasn't very comfortable with his approach. And it could also be a ploy, you see. Just looking to see what the batsman intended to do. Bowlers do that sometimes. Or maybe he just didn't get his foot in right. Look at the umpire who just tapped the area of concern, and Murray goes back.
Quite loose in that general area of the pitch there. The no ball. So just struggling a bit there with his rhythm. Caught delivering a no ball, and it will be a free hit. And of course, the Saffron will welcome that.
Yeah, it's not the thing that any captain or any bowler wants happen. Because with the free hit, the only dismissal you're going to get really is a run out. So this is a fine opportunity here for Kem Charles to capitalize on this free hit. It can't be caught, can't be legged before. Let's see what Murray is going to do with this one. Oh, he's going to bowl it. Pulls in the air and drops.
I guess Asif Hooper, knowing that there no chance that it would be a wicket, just didn't, safety first, just picked it up. They were going to for a single. So really damage limitation, more or less.
Yeah. Well bowled, though, I thought, by Custon Murray. And around over number 3, we'll be talking with Asif Hooper. He'll be all mic'd up. Added feature to this commentary. I'm sure we're all looking forward to that. On the back foot and cuts well. Fine shot. Behind point. 4. Short, rising. He gave him width. And onto the back foot he went. And square cut it. It went very quickly across the turf. 4 runs to Brathwaite. He's gone out to 11. Got the treatment he deserved. It was wide enough.
Indeed. Well, too wide, too short. And it gave Brathwaite all the time in the world to rock onto the back foot and smash it square with the wicket on the offside. And Brathwaite has shown that he's quite willing to take the attack to the bowlers and does so quite efficiently.
This time he's onto the back foot and whipped that a la Gordon Greenwich. Oh, that's a fine shot for 4. It was short and about middle and leg stump, and he was up on one leg. Gosh, and he pulled it down well, and it went behind square for 4. Oh, that was stylistic. Maybe a bit of a posing thereafter, waiting for the cameraman, but that was lovely.
Almost 180 degrees. The first boundary going square on the offside, this one square on the onside. So probably cut Murray just looking to make the adjustment, probably looking to pull a little straighter. And it was a lovely shot. You know, always hitting cricket these days was always a beautiful sight to behold.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. It was not just the power, but the splendidness of the execution of the shot. He is looking to pull. No ball,
No,
signaled by the umpire.
well. And maybe there was a slight tickle on that. The ball saw a slight deflection as the ball probably maybe just coming off the helmet of Bradford. But you will have to bowl it over whatever happened. It's a no ball, it's another free hit.
So it's a bit of a horror here for Kirsten Murray. He's gone for 18. Still in his first over, just one legal delivery to go. See if he can make amends with this. Free hit. Goes inside the line and helps us on his way down to the fine leg area. They won't come back for the second. They stay, but they get just a single to end the over. 2 overs gone. 28 for 1. Expensive over there. And Brathwaite has gone very quickly to 15 of 6.
Yes, when you're defending 70, 78, you really cannot afford to give too much away. And Murray there just struggling a bit. And no wonder why we see Ryan John marking his run out. So probably seeing what he can do. The experienced Ryan John, because he had a pretty good tournament in the recent West Indies tournament. So one left to be seen what he can do.
Yeah, well, he's got to bring his experience here. And he knows that he doesn't have a big total to handle. Just 78 his team was able to muster. So he's got to think here more so about wicket rather than just mere containment. And he didn't come off in his batting. So here is a great opportunity for him to redeem himself, to do something very special for his team.
Of course, Pastor was saying earlier, it's good to give the youngsters opportunities, but of course, Ryan probably as the leader of the bunch.
Short delivery off the back foot, cuts well and gets 4. Hit that a little straighter than maybe conventionally would have done. Just got onto the back foot with that ball rising. And he cut it very well. Yeah, it was early enough onto the shot. So it brought him 4. Well struck. Kim Charles.
They probably haven't seen enough of Brathwaite to realize that he's very severe on anything short.
They go through for a very quick single. They've got to hurry. The return comes to the non-strikers end. Good single. I think there was the alertness of mind there by the 2 batters. Saw the opportunity for the single. Played with soft hand there, Brathwaite. And they scurried for the single. The return coming to the non-strikers end, but managed to get there. Didn't have to sprawl, slide his way through. Good running, good all-round cricket.
34 for 1, so of course Saffron strikers are very much, you can say, very much on their way.
Yeah. The run rate is 14.57, so there, gosh, it's more than enough. That's why I did say earlier on how important it is for wickets to fall. Here's John. Pushes the ball up to cover. Bit of misfielding there. The batters, however, would cross for a single. The fielder was, in fact, sufficiently deep. Nice to see adjusting the desire to rotate the strike.
Indeed, very important. It doesn't matter the duration of the game, the length of the game, or the format. You need to rotate strike. You need to show the bowler something different ever so often. And the Cinnamon Pacers, they have looked a little bit jaded this morning, of course, as a second game in 2. In fact, both these teams played yesterday. And, of course, a win for Saffron today will put them on the top of the tree.
looking to pull that behind square. Well directed bouncer there by John. You can hear him grunting in effort. Did mention about this grunting that has become a contemporary feature in fast bowlers. So many of them do grunt, and mention how prevalent it is in tennis. So we've got Asif Hooper, who is mic'd up. Asif, you hearing us?
Yeah, Asif will have a chat with us at some point. Don't get
Are you hearing us, Asif?
It's breaking up a bit, but I think Asif will be with us shortly.
John misses his run up. Asif, are you there? Yeah, we just seem to be having a bit of audio lapses, and once that's correct, we'll converse with Asif Hooper. I love the name Asif Hooper. I think it's got a nice ring about it.
Yes, yes. Pakistani West Indian.
Yeah, it's a lovely ring.
Oh, Guyanese, probably Asif is the name. I guess there's a number of Guyanese who may be called Asif.
There's an appeal for cut behind, gone. Came forward, looking to drive the ball, Charles. Didn't really get to the pitch of it. The ball took the outside edge. Might have been a little bit of a way movement by John. Well bowled. Look at him going to drive, but his feet nowhere to the pitch of it. The catch taken behind the stumps. And so he has to go. And they're elated, absolutely elated. But that was a lovely delivery. Well bowled.
And to out the same way in 2 days, in two separate games, yesterday, one remember Ken also driving loosely outside the off stump, not moving the feet and being caught at sleep. And today, this time, he got a teenage edge, not moving the feet and being caught by the wicketkeeper. So it's something he has to look at. And the second wicket down, 36 for 2 after 3. But Saffron, we can safely say, still is in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's still early days, but they have lost 3 wickets. And the loss of wickets, that's so very crucial. Well, let's see if we can get back to... I'll get over to Asif. Asif, you hearing us? Okay. Just seem to be having a bit of a bother with his audio, but once that's rectified, Nicobi John joins Brathwaite. So a lot would depend on Brathwaite, who is 22 of 11. So John has just struck.
In fact, Asif will be taking up the attack from the northern end. I think that's probably the reason why we didn't quite have him. I don't know if he's still wired up. Looking at him on screen, he doesn't seem to be wired up.
Once we get the information, we're going to certainly try to talk with him. The current run rate is exactly 12, and they need to score at 6.11. So I don't think it has much to do with the run rate. There are a loss of 2 wickets already, though. Ball driven up to long on, and gets a comfortable single.
I think they would so love to see the back of Brathwaite at this point.
Yeah, he is 23 of 12. It's batted pretty well.
Nicobi John now will have his turn. See how he approach it.
There's Hooper. Yeah, driving well, smoothly out to the extra cover boundary and gets a comfortable single. It's a good rotation of the strike.
And they really do not need more than a run-up ball from here.
Yeah, it's just simple, sensible cricket, that's all. It's off the back foot and cutting out to cover square. Good bowling here by Asif Hooper. He's varying his pace a bit. He's round the wicket and looking to cut, but can't pierce that offside field.
What we've seen of Bradford so far, though, is seem to favor the square on the offside and square on the onside. We haven't seen much down the ground from him so far, although he haven't had too many balls over pitch in his area.
No, he takes that from outside the off stump and used the wrist very well, clipped it to long on and gets a comfortable single. So he's pushed on to one short of that quarter century mark. There's the final delivery coming up by Asif Hooper. It's been a good over, just 3 runs coming off it so far. Again, he has missed his approach. And he's doing the right thing. If you miss your approach, you've got to go right back. Don't force it. Delivery that is pushed up to the sweeper position and gets a single. So he's going to be taking strike. And at the end of 4 overs gone, and Pacers there 40 for 2.
40 for 2. Very comfortable at the moment. And none of the batters, in fact, Bradford, they haven't been in any sort of trouble whatsoever. Just rolling over strikers simply, easily. When there is a ball to put away, he put it away. And another more spin into the attack now as Noel comes into the attack. The off spinner. We're bowling to Nick Kobe. John.
Just a correction. Did say Cinnamon Pacers, but strikers. Sorry, Saffron strikers. 40 for 2. I think it's human to err.
Of course.
So Noel brought into the attack. So got spin from both ends. We're going to try again to see whether Asif Hooper is mic'd up. So, Asif, are you there? No.
I don't think he's... looking at him on the field, he didn't seem to be mic'd up. I think he may have, out of sight, gone and had the mic removed earlier on before he went to bowl.
So here is Noel moving into John. It's cramping him. It's coming from around the wicket. Nicely flighted delivery. Dot ball. It's been observed that some of the bowlers, all of them seem to be having some bit of a problem on the entry to the wicket. Wrapped him on the pad there in the field for like before. Not given out.
Probably pitching outside the leg stump.
Maybe.
Of course, the right-hander bowling around the wicket.
But it was close, I must admit. Good shout. But maybe just outside the leg stump. Driven back. They actually got 2, which really should have been a single. And that's when you're not tight with your game.
Been sloppy, and even in the batting, they didn't show any real form of organization in the batting, and it certainly spilled into the field. Saffron strikers, on the other hand, was very efficient in the field, and even so, you can see it almost transcends into the batting.
They took the catches. Driving out to the deep mid wicket. Boundary will get a comfortable single. So good containing stuff here by Noel. So they require another 36 runs, the Saffron Strikers, and they need to get that in 32 deliveries. So it is quite achievable. So many of these spinners these days, they've got a bit of a hop and a skip, like Nathan Lyon does from Australia. His characteristic entry to the wicket, looking to drive the ball up to long on and gets a single. You get the impression as if he wanted to reverse hit that.
But Jay was smart. In fact, he pushed a lot wider and fuller towards the length.
Driving back past the bowler, and that just gets a single. So the over comes to an end. 5 overs gone, 45 for 2. And let's see if we can make contact with Asif. Asif. No, he's not. It's not there. Is he?
So 45 for 2 after 5. What a comfortable position for the Saffron Strikers. And Asif Hooper will continue. We have seen the spinners certainly has pulled things back quite a bit for the, the Cinnamon Pacers. And no one knows what can happen faster if we can continue to push the rate up to 7, 8, probably 9. Create some panic.
A lot would depend on how well Hooper bowls. Pushed down to the sweeper position, would be pulled back just inside. They will come back for the second as the return comes keeperwards. Good return. He's having to come a little bit to his right. The batsman had time to cross for 2. So a partnership building here between Brathwaite and John. Hits that back past the bowler. Might have been catchable. Goes down to long off. So yields another single. He is very much a thinking bowler. Asif Hooper. Good control. Bowls with steadiness and guile. And if you want somebody to come and stem the flow of runs, then Hooper is your man. Shorter, flatter, pulled down to the mid-wicket area. Single results. So they're getting singles and a couple of 2s here and there. But it's been a while since we've gotten a boundary. 50 just ahead is 49 for 2 now. Wrapped on the pad, there's the P for leg before. That looks too high. They go through for what would be leg by. Let's see what the umpire says. That's right, it's leg by. Could see from here that the ball would have gone over the top of the stump.
Indeed, yes, and it's a wicket that has provided a really even bounce throughout the course of the game so far.
So the 50 posted in 5.4 overs. Driven back past the bowler, and that's goes for 4. Well, that traveled down the ground a little faster maybe than anticipated. Good hit. Tried to hit it straight, succeeded in doing so, and yielded 4 runs.
Shows that he has power down the ground also, not only square with the square of the wicket on the onside and offside, but also have some power down the ground. And Duncan, they had no chance.
He's 30 of 18. Turned neatly this time through mid-wicket. Could get only a single. So his personal tally has gone to 31, I make it. That completes the over. So some 6 overs gone. It's 55 for 2. And the required run rate, it's exactly 6, and they're scoring at 9.17.
Yeah, scoring at 9.17. Probably the Cinnamon Pacers would have probably want it to be a little bit even, but as it stands, the Saffron strikers are advanced as far as the scoring rate is concerned, and only requiring a runner ball, which at this in modern cricket nowadays is really a walk in the park, more often than not, with wickets in hand.
Yeah, you're sure right. And except something dramatic happens, which I dare say is unlikely, then strikers should canter over the victory line. It's been a good innings by Brathwaite, 31 of 19, taking strike. And Ryan John will come in to bowl his second over. He's 1 for 7. Outside the off stump, looking to fish at that one. Maybe just trying to open the face of the bat, but his feet movement really was nowhere, or lack of it rather, because he really didn't do anything with his feet. Just stood there and sought to open the face of the bat to glide it down to third man. Collected behind the stumps. This time looking to drive. Certainly like to see him use those feet, those God-given feet that he has. It's important to get to the pitch. It's one of the cardinal things that your coaches tell you rather early in your cricketing experience. Get to the pitch of the ball. The great Sir Viv told me years ago, once you get to the pitch of it, you can do whatever you want with it. That was his philosophy. And who could blame Viv? Clipped nicely down to mid-wicket. They've gone for one. But won't come back for the second. So it's been a pretty good over so far by Ryan John, just yielding one. 3 more legal deliveries to go.
What John has asked him to do is what he hasn't done too much of throughout the inning so far. That is to hit the ball back down the ground. So he's bowled a pretty full length to him and has had some success so far.
23 needed from 21 legal deliveries. Very much in the Pacers' control. Strikers, rather. Pulled down to the deep square boundary. A little bubble down there. Are they going to come back for the second? No, they decide against it. Didn't cue that all that well. Probably took more the top edge of the bat. But it was short and a little bit of contrasting pitch, so to speak. John, who tended to pitch a little bit outside the off stump, this time straight down the leg side. Of course, when you talk about control, Justin, there's some bowlers who had this ability to bowl on a particular line and length. You think about McGrath from Australia, Glenn McGrath, and Curtly Ambrose. Those are two of the gentlemen you'd want to really remember how good they were. In the air, lifted, high and hard. That's going all the way for 6. That's a power hit maximum. Went underneath it and lifted it high and hard, and it went soaring. Let's look at it again. Yeah, freed the arms and lifted it gleefully down the ground for 6. Fine shot.
Yes, Nicoby John getting one in the act as Ryan John just missed the mark. And in this day and age, you can't afford to miss your mark. Anytime you miss your mark, you will be taken to the cleaners. And this is what happened. 6 more. And it means that the task becoming a lot easier. Every time a boundary is struck or a maximum is struck, it really says that the Saffron strikers are closer, inching closer and closer to what will be an emphatic victory here.
They require 15 of 18 balls, so less than a runner ball. I was saying a little earlier on, just off air as we talk, it'll be so nice to see another St. innings. We will see one at some point, but it was an absolutely marvelous inning, scintillating, and they were good, authentic cricket shots. Not slugging, but we have not seen an innings close to it as yet. Yes, the tournament is rather early. There's Noel. Up in the block hole.
5 more those.
Brathwaite was maybe just looking to give himself a bit of room and glided through the offside. Driven hard. Don't to long off, but get a single. 14 needed of 16. There's Noel. Drive down to long off. Hooper comes off the boundary and sets the return. Back to the bowler. Batsman had time to cross for one. So 13 needed. He's looking to drive there, Brathwaite. Just missed it. I'd love to see him do a bit of work with his feet, though, in terms of using his feet to get to the pitch of the ball. That's so very important.
Stop that. Well done, boy.
There seemed to be quite a dependence on power hitting. But Justin, even with power hitting, you've got to keep your shape. And to do that, your feet are ideally necessary. It's mandatory. Driven down to long on. And they get a single, contented with the single as the return comes in. So that completes the over. 8 overs gone, 2 remaining, 11 runs needed, 12 balls to get there. And Saffron Strikers 68 for 2.
And it's probably, it's been probably over by the shouting when Cinnamon Pacers made 78. But at the end of the day, Saffron Strikers has measured the chase. They have chased well. They have done far more things better than the Cinnamon Strikers, the Cinnamon Pacers. And as a result, they're in a prime position now to go to the top of the table in the meantime and to sit alone at the top of the tree.
Yeah, but it's still early days, of course, with the tournament climaxing on the 25th, I think, is this month. So lots of matches to be played.
Murray is on.
Shot, pulled down to the deep mid-wicket boundary. Ball travels rather quickly. And they get one.
So Murray, who would have picked up a wicket in his first delivery yesterday, probably had dreams of doing it again today.
They don't happen very regularly when you pick up with the first ball. And even more so in another game, picking up your first ball.
Except, of course, if you're a Trent Bolt.
Fine bowler, Trent Bolt. In the air, pulled down to the mid-wicket area. And that has gone all the way over the boundary line for a carry maximum hit, maximum 6. Wonderful shot. It was short. Looked for a moment as though he didn't cue it all that well, but that went over the boundary line. Fine shot. It's a Carib power maximum.
Again, almost a nothing ball by Murray, just pulling his shot and, of course, does look very ungainly playing the shot. We've seen him done it probably on about 3 or 4 occasions so far during the innings. A delivery well pitched up, full in fact outside the offside, but he doesn't get the left pad across. It's funny that he goes across with the right pad and try to play it away on the onside.
Tugs that one out to square leg. That was in fact admonished by John to wait. We heard him screaming in a outside microphone. This time it's tugged from outside the off stump down to the deep mid-wicket function. A single is collected. So wouldn't get his half century. Brathwaite 76 for 2, 3 runs needed. Hits it in the air. Somebody is gonna go under it. Catch is taken. That's John taking up the catch. And so I don't know, quite frankly, whether there was any need for that. Really, there's no need. It's just 3 runs required, Justin. Why force it? You still got another over to go.
Yeah, well, probably wanted to end it here, wanted to end the game there and then, but we've seen so often that batsmen fall at this type of junctures, looking to finish it off.
I'm sorry. Not sensible cricket, really isn't.
So Nicobi John there, just falling. The time when really and truly, all he needed to do was to say, okay, let's just ensure I'm here to, when we get there,
Yeah, it was just as simple as that.
boost my average.
Yeah,
Not out.
agreed. That was Paul. So Travelton Paul is coming to join Brathwaite with strikers 76 for 3. And they need just 3 runs. This is the final over. And one didn't even expect that would get up to the final over. So here is St. Paul. He'll be bowling wrong the wicket, it looks like.
Regis, yeah.
Chandler Regis. Delivery outside the off stump. This might just turn out to be an interesting game, you see. That was a dot ball.
5 good ones, dude.
Here is Regis. Turned it. Behind square on the leg side.
Well, that could be close. That could be interesting. Not out, says the umpire. Yeah.
The stump's being hit. Bales dislodged.
Probably a direct hit
Yeah.
was what was necessary.
They got the single though. Yeah.
But are they making this thing harder than it actually is, Pastor?
Ooh. It was a direct hit, wasn't it?
I don't think it was. Looking at the direction of the stump, mean that the keeper would have broken the stump.
Might well have been. Just thought for a moment as though it may have been direct. No harm done though.
But
So
are they making this thing harder than it actually is? That's the question.
they need 2 from 4. Well, it should not be much of a bother. Paul takes strike and hits that.
4-4. So
So sort of climatic, or if you want to call it anticlimactic. So Saffron Strikers 81. They have won this game in 9.3 overs, and they have won by 7 wickets. So one thought that it would not go down to the wire, but indeed it did, with just 2 balls remaining. So Saffron Strikers, they're the victors in this game.
and of course, Brathwaite would have batted through and ensured that they won by 7 wickets. And really not enough. So it would have been interesting probably if they had gotten to 100, how interesting the game would have been. But again, it is what it is. They've managed only 78, and gotta give the cinnamon pieces some credit. They have certainly made it interesting. They have certainly made it close, a closer encounter than we probably anticipated. And but at the end of the day, it's a victory for the Saffron Strikers, and they have won by 7 wickets. And we can say certainly that they have played a far better game, all-round game than the Cinnamon Pacers. The Cinnamon Pacers, they never look really in the game. In fact, from ball one.
So now it's the Cinnamon Pacers. 78 all out and set a victory target of 79 for to win. Saffron Strikers 81 for 3, getting safely home. They win by 7 wickets. Let's go across to Rondell John. Rondell, you go right ahead.
Yes.